I'm probably messing with us, man.
No, no, be serious. Yeah, be serious.
You're serious?
Yeah, yeah. I just looked at it. I'm like, I usually start the recording, but whenever
Are we gonna redo it some other time, or
yeah,
because like
I'm starting recording now, but we'll redo it again.
all the dashboards and all the XML that I was gonna come look at is all gone?
Yeah, I have to re-record it. I usually record it. I didn't think about it this time. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, apologies on that, guys. So I'm gonna run through it one more time, just so that at least this part you guys will have that, and then the XML piece I'll do another time. Okay, so here we go. So we're creating a dashboard. Just come in here. Matter of fact, this might be helpful for you guys. So I'm going to delete this stuff in here. This link, all this other jazz. I'm going to delete all this stuff. All right. Delete all this. We're deleting all of it. We're just getting rid of it all. Save it. Nothing is here. Nothing's ever been created. Same thing with this guy. Nothing's ever been created. Delete it all. So we have just bare dashboards. You know, this is just like when you say create new dashboard, it's created for you. So matter of fact, let's delete this. Let's delete it all. There's no dashboard called blah. This blah is going to be disappearing, so we don't have that now. So we're going to create, so if we refresh this, this also should be gone. So we're going to create a new dashboard. It's going to call students showdown. All right. So we're going to share this in app so all you guys can see it. So this is students showdown. It's been created. How would I add a panel? Matter of fact, let me have who can I have do this? Timmy, you're probably the most experienced out of these guys. I'm gonna pass you control and I'll direct you. Let me know when you got control. All right, Timmy, you there?
Yep.
All right, you got control?
Yep.
Cool. All right, Timmy, create for me a panel, any random panel that you want to create.
Does it matter what the search string is?
Nah. Create any search string that you want to create. But make sure it produces data. All right, cool. Okay, so you created a, looks like just an event one. So can you make this into a, maybe a time chart or like a chart or something like that? All right, cool. Yep. Let's do, what do you call it? Do bar or something like that. Might work a lot better. There we go. So this looks a little bit better. All right. And then let's modify this a bit. So modify the search where at the top where user does not equals to like any number or anything like that. So we got like, you know, a bunch of numbers there. So maybe take out 1 or 0 star 0. Do a star 0 star. So at least we get rid of all the zeros. Yeah, star, and then save that, and let's see how clean that is. All right, so that's good. So now we only have, I think, -1 now. So let's get rid of that guy. Okay. All right, cool. So this looks a little cleaner. All right. So, all right, take out admin as well, and nobody. And the other thing for search hygiene, whenever you do like a bunch of these like users or like groupings, try to group it inside of a parentheses so people can sort of follow your flow. So if you're doing like a bunch of user does not, yeah, group it in there, and they can follow your flow a lot easier. Yep. And then what I usually like to do is do an and in between, just so that people can know that. Yep, there we go. All right. All right, cool. So it looks a little cleaner. Okay. All right, cool. All right, we like that. So modify this time picker so that it uses, actually create an input for a time picker. And make it last 4 hours. Okay. All right, cool. Much cleaner. All right. Okay, so then we're going to make a drill down for this guy. All right, edit the drill down. So we're going to link it to another dashboard. All right, so in a new tab to the right at the top there, yeah, you can click that one. It's fine. Oh no, you can just want to use any one of those tabs that are open. Yeah, that's fine. So create a new dashboard, and then do actions by students. And then create this dashboard. All right, so you're going to add an input in this dashboard. And it's going to be called student.
Text.
Yeah, text. Yeah, text is cool. All right. All right, and then, yeah, you can call it whatever you want to call it here. All right, and then surrounded by asterisks at the bottom. Yep, so in the prefix and then in the suffix. So the prefix is just the star in front of the student, and then the suffix is what's at the end of the token. All right, so we have that. So then in here, you're gonna create another panel, and we're gonna look at a time chart count of students searching, how students are searching, and you can look in audit as well. So do a time me see. I wanted a time chart or statistics. Hey, do I guess the time chart's fine too. I guess. Yep. And then look at the audit index again. Then the action is going to be search in this case. And then it's going to be user at the end of this. So space and then user equals $ student $. All right, and then add to dashboard. All right. Okay, and then just save this. Okay. All right, and then let's go to our first dashboard that you were messing with. Cancel out of here quickly, and then go back into the drill down. It may have not recognized it. So, all right, and then let's go find that dashboard you just messed with. And make sure that dashboard you created, it's searchable for everybody that can be seen. It may just be, it should be available in here at least, but let's see though. Okay, so maybe not. So let's go modify the permissions for that dashboard. You can keep this here. And do, yep, permissions to the top right. Let's make it all. All right, save it. All right. It should have been visible anyway, but either way, let's see. Let's go back and see if we can see it now. All right, cancel, save, refresh.
Where's your refresh on that?
Let me grab it for you. This thing is in the way to this drop down. Let me hide it.
Okay.
All right. Let's close these two. All right. So edit the drill down again. All right. What did you call this dashboard?
Actions by students.
I don't know why I can't find it. Let me see. Action by students. Yeah. This is a student front end app. Huh. It's weird. Okay. Let me take a look quickly, see why you can't find it. So, then. See. Let's go back to it now, see if it populated. Not sure why it's not coming up, but what we can do. Okay, so it's here. Okay, that's good. It's okay. Let's see if this guy's showing up. It should be showing up shortly. All right, there we go. This took a little while. All right, so continue. All right, so you're going to instead of
What was wrong with it? Why didn't it show up?
I just need to apply. It took a little while to replicate, and you may need it to refresh the screen too. So before we apply this, you're going to do advanced at the bottom there. All right, so we're gonna do a let's do a form that student and then equals to, and then you're gonna do click value. So you see how click value is at the bottom there? Yep, you can just click value. Yep. And apply that. So save that. All right, and then X the actions by students at the top there. Yep. Let me close this one now. We don't need this anymore. All right, and then click, you know, Richard Kamara, whoever you want to click any student in here. Let's see if it allows us to do what we're thinking it should do. Nice. So it does exactly that. So it passes Richard. Now we can see the actions searched by Richard over whatever time frame you have in here. So this is how you would use this drill down value to click into other dashboards and be able to present this data. So if your threat hunters are looking for a specific hacker or whatever, and then you see it pop up, what you can say is use this name or IP or country or whatever variable it is, pass this now to another dashboard. It's expecting this value. And then we can see whenever this user has done any type of activity or this IP has done anything, or this country's popped up on our radar, or this computer, we've seen it do something crazy. Whenever it's done any of these crazy things, create a new input value for it in another dashboard, and then run that search. So in this case, we have a student drill down that's looking at just the activities of students right here. In this case, we're looking at the search activities. Another one, we could look at fail logins. Another one, we could look at the number of indexes. Another one, so on and so forth. There's so many different use cases you can create. It just depends on how creative you are as a Splunk engineer to pass these things down. All right, does this make sense? Is this helpful for you guys, at least for this piece? We'll go through the second piece in just a second.
Yeah, it's better now. Fix something.
Cool. All right, thank you, Timmy.
No problemo.
All right, so, all right. So we got the pass through down. All right, so the next thing, let's say we wanted to link this to, whenever we found an IP, we want to do a search on this to somewhere else. So, man, I'll probably have to do that another day. So what I was going to show you guys, well, maybe I have time to do it today. Let's just see how much time we have. Let's hide this floating media controls, and let's go to my. I forget where that. It's in the fields. I always forget where that's at. Yep. Then workflow actions. All right. Then let me see if any of these are created by my guy admin. Did I create anything? Twitter virus, total query by IP. Okay, so it looks like I created one. All right. So workflow action. So workflow actions basically is sort of like how you can do with drill downs and stuff, but basically what this allows you to do is allows you to look up a specific value inside of Splunk, and you can pass this value now to another website. So remember how we're passing this stuff internally right now through Splunk to Splunk? But let's say you have another device, another thing out there that has a URL function that receives inputs. So for instance, if I go to virus total, which is what we're going to use here, let's spell virus, right? So you see virus total. If you look at the top of the IP, this is what it shows you. VirusTotal.com, GUI, home, upload, blah, blah. So then let's say I were to type in a IP, 8.8.8.8, and keep an eye on the top here on the URL. So then you see here it says virus total. And then it gives you the GUI, gives you IP address, then it gives you the IP, and then it tells you detection. So, right? but we can use another option if we wanted in terms of like another site. So basically, I would copy that URL in here, just like that. And the only thing I would replace is basically the IP with a token for whatever it is I want to pass into it. So we're going to do an example of that. So we're going to go to, and then after we finish this, we're going to end by me deploying this app to you guys' servers, anybody is connected. All right, so we go here now. And then we're going to say index equals to let's do star underscore index the last 15 minutes. Let's see who has some IPs and stuff that I can use. I know a few of you do. All right, got 7,000 events. So host, Patrick. All right, personal PC, Claudette. You have 4, okay, sweet. All right.
You want a random IP?
No, it's fine. I'm going to look at your events to grab this. We're going to base it out of the events. Battery capacity. So Claudette, you're monitoring your battery capacity. So that's not going to be helpful for us. All right. So who else is a desktop Ricino? What do you have? If anything, I know someone that definitely. Okay, so you're monitoring some. Do you have any IPs in here? You don't, so it's okay. All right, I know one guy that really does, which should be Patrick's, because I believe you have some DNS related data. So, Patrick, we're actually gonna use yours. All right, so we're gonna pass your destination IP. We're gonna see what exactly is going on over. Well, yeah, we're gonna see what's going on over here. So what we're gonna say is for Patrick, we're gonna create a workflow action. So we're gonna go here. Literally gonna mimic this. All right, settings, new workflow action. It's gonna be on the student underscore front end app, and then we're gonna say Patrick workflow. We'll call it Patrick IP into fire.
Did you put a 2231?
Say again?
The IP you pulled.
No, I'm not gonna hard code IP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What I'm gonna do is basically say anytime a season IP under this field, find out what that IP belongs to. Let's go look at that IP, what it's doing.
Oh, okay. I think you could use your IP void too as well. That's another app as well.
Yeah, yep. So matter of fact, I think it'll be good if I show you guys that too. So say ipchicken.com. Let's do Whois. This is one that folks always use anyway. Whois similar to any other site really. You can do queries on IP. So 8.8.8.8. Go Google. So you can see here, your query has run. So whois.com, and then it tells you the IP right after that, and then you just run that. Then you say I'm not a robot. Then go to bridges, bridge. Anything else? Hopefully I got it all. These captures, man. All right, so you see here, whois.com. I guess we'll use Whois then. This might be helpful for you guys to see from scratch. So whois.com, and then you just have the IP after that. So what we're gonna say is, in our settings over here, label, we're gonna say look up IP for dest IP. So the reason why we use dest IP in this events is dest IP. We could have called it dest too if we want to use dest. So we're gonna say look up IP for dest IP. similar to what we did here. The label we call to get virus total detections for source. Our labels we're getting it for dest IP. So we're going to apply this for dest underscore IP, then maybe apply it on destination too. All right, and then apply on the phone event types. It must be, so if we had like specific event types we wanted, I don't think I created any for this guy, so I'm not going to use the same for that. All right, so we're going to say you can either have this appear on the field menus or the event menu. So field menus, event menu over here. So I'm going to say just appear on both. So appear on both. Then it's going to be a link, I believe. Is it a link or a search? I always forget which one. Yeah, it's going to be a link to it. So I'm going to link it. Then we're just going to copy the domain over here, the URL. Then we're going to embed this here. And then what we're going to say is, instead of using that 8.8 hardcode, just pass the dest IP or the source IP, whatever IP or whatever field. In this case, we're passing again this field here, dest IP, whatever field you want to pass into, pass it into that. And then a new window. I think I did a new window for both. Yeah, so yeah, we'll keep it a new window. Save. Then right now it's on private, so I'm going to make this all app read admin and modified admin. Save that. Okay, and it's saved. It may take a little while for it to click in, but let's just see, right? So let's do a debug. Refresh, debug. Refresh. All right. My Ansible stuff is going over here. Oh, all right. Come on. While that's doing that, let me pull up this guy already. So go to anyway. Open path. Show you guys how to get that app there. Okay, so it's refreshed. All right, and then what the? All right, so let's go to our front end app guy here. Then now if we do a search, index equals, yeah, I think we did Patrick's host. So we run this 24 hours. And then now on Patrick's field, dest.p, we should have the option now to be able to search one of these IPs inside of Whois. So, so now dest IP there. Now you see here is a lookup IP information for this guy. So this is based upon, I believe that's the one we use. So if we go to settings, fields, go to workflow actions. Then we go to created an app. Let's see the one we just made. So then say lookup IP information for this, and then we can say in Whois. Save that. It may not propagate because we just made that change. But basically now we can click this, click this. It ports this now to whois.com. I just go check in. Bicycle. I don't see no daggone bicycles. Am I tripping?
Click skip.
Let's see these things, man. All right. So now, if you have a proprietary tool, now it does the search for that IP we're looking for. See exactly what's going on. We can do research quickly. It just helps faster for your analysts or your threat hunters, or for maybe even your CEOs or whatever. They say, what IP is this? If you have like an internal database of all your IPs, you can just say, okay, let me port this to a table, go do a lookup. Then you see that, and then now you see all those IPs that are there. So, oh, yeah, this is SARS laptop, or this is so-and-so's laptop. It ports all the information for you, get a nice, fancy, cute little dashboard for you, and it's good to go. All right, any questions about that? So again, the workflow actions are used to basically make your life a lot easier. So in this case, we use an IP. Let's say you had somebody's like computer name and you wanted to look up that person's computer name, who it belongs to. You can have like maybe you have an internal or external database, whatever it is, that has a list of computers based upon the user. You can basically create a new thing that allows you to go into that, go look at that. I don't know what private equity this even is. I think I got one that's like a Google search or something like that that does that. It's so weird. Anyway, but yeah, unless somebody created that, you can basically do a lot of things within Splunk that makes it just easier, just like a point and click. That's literally what you want your customers or consumers to have to do. You don't want them to be having to create like massive queries to do X, Y, and Z. It's just, hey, I want to look at the index to see what stuff is in there. And if I don't like it, I want to be able to do X, Y, and Z on top of it and make that work that way. All right, so that's that. Any other questions about this piece? Okay. All right, so let's go move this app now. Actually, before we do that, there's one last thing I do want to show you guys that we're going to finish. So our front-end app has search, datasets, reports, alerts, dashboards. So we're going to use Timmy's 2 dashboards that he created. And we're just going to have search. And then we're going to put all of these guys into like a collection. And then we're going to have those 2 other dashboards that Timmy created. We're going to use that. So what we'll do is this. So we'll go to let's go back to front end app. Where is that? Then we'll go to dashboards. Then Timmy created students drill down and actions by students. So what we'll do then is we'll create a new look for our data. So the default name is what's used for your default configuration look. So whenever you see default, it's basically referring to how your configuration looks here. So here by default, what you see first is view name. This is the search. So then you go here, you'll see search. Next, you should see data sets. So then if you go to here, you see data sets. You see reports, then alerts and dashboards and blah. Dashboards, alerts, dashboards. We don't have blah, so we're going to switch that. So what we're going to say here is by default, every time I click into that app, it's going to go to search, but I don't want that to be the case. I want it to go somewhere else. I want it to go to another dashboard. In this case, I don't want it to be blah since we deleted the blah dashboard. I want it to go to Timmy's dashboard, but we have to get the name of Timmy's dashboard. It says students drill down, but the name itself is going to be at the top. So if we go here, it's going to be students underscore drill down. That's the name of the dashboard that we're going to use. So it basically says the domain that we're at, the language, the application, the app that we're in, whether search and reporting, front-end app, whether we're in Palo Alto, GitHub, whatever app we pick. And then from there, it's going to show you what are we doing inside the app. We're viewing a dashboard. In this case, students underscore drill down inside of this app. So what we're going to do then is say pass this here. We don't need the slash. So we're going to make that, but we're going to make these things right here into a new collection. So collection basically is a list of basically tabs or tabulated links that send you to whatever you want. So collections are made up of dashboards. So in this case, remember how we said reports, dashboards, alerts, and all that stuff were basically dashboards. So they are a collection. So we got to give this guy a name. So we're going to say label equals, we're going to call this Splunk default tabs. It's going to be the name. So then if I save this, I kept the screen open for a reason, and I refresh this. So now you see, we no longer see this stuff that we have here. I've now put it into Splunk default tabs. So they're all nested under this group over here. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do then is for Timmy's students drill down dashboard. So we're going to X this. Then once I log into this app, it should automatically bring me to students drill down dashboard. You'll be like, oh, well, you were already on that page. So let me exit out of that page. Then I go right back into that page. Oh, whoopsies. Student front end app. By default, automatically now brings me to students drill down dashboard. And that's because we set default. We no longer want to see search and reporting first. We want to see this. Well, not search and reporting, but we no longer want to see this search bar come up that we normally do when we go into an app. We want to see this as the first thing instead. So we got that piece done. All right. So the next thing we want to do is add actions by students. So what we'll do then is say add another guy here. It's going to be another view. Name equals to name of this. I think this one's also actions underscore by underscore students. Yeah. And you can tell like a lot of stuff over time what it is anyway. Spaces are usually just going to be underscores. So I'll close this now. I'll save this. If we refresh this, that should be available for us to view. Just as it is, actions by students. And that's just waiting for an input. So now we'll click Ernest and see what Ernest has done. It gets passed into here. And now we can see Ernest's track record to see the stuff he's been doing. Okay, all right. So we created just that little view for you guys to see. We'll add more stuff as we get into this a little deeper. But for right now, what I'm gonna do is just basically copy this over for you guys to have. So OpenPath SH. Hopefully I don't get disconnected. My service here has been trash. Huh. Version timed out. Wonder why. That's super weird. Oh, All right. This may not be a good thing. Yeah, got good. Packet size. If I can't connect, it's not a good thing. So okay. It looks like I keep timing out. Yeah, no clue what's going on there. Probably having issues on my end in terms of the network communicating there. But yeah, it's unless you know what? Let me check something. AWS. So I restricted my server to be port specific to allow SSH. Crap. Doggone it. I forgot what it was. All right. Guess I have to do it myself. All right, so apologies on this. Thought I had so I'm not nervous to show you guys because it blanks out my password anyway. So copy that, plop that in there. All right, so AWS set. Oh, I guess I deleted it. I guess I didn't even need it. All right, so if we go now to EC2 instances, let's go look at our security groups. Then for my search head, search head right here, SSH. Okay, so only clearing VPN, so that's why. All right, so I'm going to temporarily modify that. IP chicken. Modify that so that it can know I'm just a regular guy trying to log in. Received. All right, cool. So we're good. All right, so like I said, so sudo su. You don't know the backend, do DBOS class, but for the most part, right now we're gonna go to deployment apps, and see these apps that were created. So on the front end, what that looks like is this is what we're looking at. We're looking at this screen over here for the management in the apps area. So this is where we're seeing underscores, apps, Linux servers underscore all Windows, blah, blah, all this. This is what we're seeing. But what I want to deploy is this. So I'm going to copy -r. Let's do apps and students front end app. Move that here. ls, and then let's get up out of here maybe. And go back to folder management maybe. Now you see we got 9 apps instead of 8. Student front end app has been added because it's now in the deployment apps location. So what we'll do is edit this app and say, hey, this app needs to go everywhere. So we're going to create a server class. So we're going to say server class all students. And my server class. So then I'm going to add an app to my server class, which is the student front app that we just created. Adding that app now. And then we're going to add clients. So right now, we're going to say everybody. Include everybody. So when I click the star, see now it does a check. So now everybody's included. Everybody gets this app. So save that. Then now it's going to try to push it to everybody. So now if you guys want to check on your local servers, if you go to either apps or Splunk Enterprise at the main screen launcher, you should see that front end app deployed now to all your servers since I deployed it to everybody. Let me know if you've checked it and you're able to see it. If not, it may take a little bit, but most of you guys should see that now. If anyone wants to validate for me quickly, we can close off after this. And then I'll stop sharing that. If somebody wants to share theirs that's able to see it. Lane, are you on yours?
See.
You mind sharing your screen, Elaine?
I don't see it.
Hold on. Let's see. Okay.
It should be coming shortly. Sometimes it takes a little bit, but
I'm logging back. No, on my own instant.
yeah, localhost. Yep. So go to search and reporting at the top. Nope, it's an app.
Yeah.
Yep, there it is. You see when you click the drop down?
Here.
Second app there.
Your student front end app.
It's the one we just pushed. And you see it automatically takes us to Timmy Jordan. You won't have any data because, well, your data is not going to be like ours because, you don't have access to all the data in our Splunk. But now any configurations and stuff that we push in here, you can now have locally on your computer. The only thing that you can't simulate is the data. But in terms of dashboards, apps, and things like that, you can have all that stuff in here for you.
So literally at the job site, they'll literally specify you should do a drill down, right?
Well, yeah, it depends.
Do we have to use your initiated to do the drill down, or they're gonna tell you, the client gonna tell you, okay, we want you to do a drill down?
Well, it depends. You have some, so all jobs are different, right? So there's going to be clients who are very specific on what they want. There's going to be people who say, hey, show me what I think I want. So it all depends on what your job, dictates.
Mm-hmm.
I've been on all kinds before. There's some jobs that have been like, hey, I need to see value out of this. What can you show me? And there's some other jobs where it's just like, man, I have no clue what I want. Can you please help me to show me what I really want? So yeah, it just depends.
Yeah, because a lot of people talk about this drill down stuff.
Yeah. I mean, drill downs are just it's like a fancy term for folks like to use it, but it's really simple at the heart of it. It's just what do you want to see more into context wise? If you see stats count where something is like 45, what does the 45 mean? What does that number truly mean? So drill downs allow you to give more context out of numbers and figures and whatnot. That's why it's important.
Okay.
But that's it for today. Any other questions?
It's an interesting one.
All right. I'll let you guys go for today. And homework would be to, I didn't get a chance to go over your homeworks. First thing, next class, we're going to go over that since I'm giving you guys extra time to do that. Only thing I would add to that is maybe create a couple of dashboards that drill down into other dashboards. Maybe give that a shot. But outside of that, that's pretty much it. But yeah, yep.
Mm.
Hi, Elaine. You're sharing your job and being searched. You might want to stop sharing this case. Okay, so I'm gonna stop the recording.